I played campaign and it was fucking amazing. I'll probably talk about that in a later video, but right now I want to mention a few things that really stuck out to me in terms of units and buildings. Shield batteries are fucking awesome. I truly believe that this added to the multiplayer Protoss arsenal would help many of the perceived problems of the race. I want to start off by saying that I think Blizzard is very hesitant to re-add Brood War units because of the nostalgia fanboyism. This is what happened when everybody started yelling, Dragoon or Riot, add them and we'll be quiet, reinstate the Brood War stuffs or it'll come down to fisticuffs. Sorry, but Dragoon was wanted for nostalgic reasons. It wouldn't have actually solved any of the problems that Protoss had back then. I don't have nostalgic fanboyism. I didn't play Brood War. Heresy! I experienced the units raw in StarCraft 2. There's nothing to be nostalgic about, and I believe adding this building would help Protoss drastically. For those of you that don't know, the shield battery in campaign is a static defense structure. It's from Forge Tech, costs 100 minerals, and heals 3 shields per 1 energy. Someone's going to have to fact check me on this last bit, but I'm pretty sure it has a range of 4 or 5. The reason I think shield battery would be a good addition is that Protoss, pre-photon overcharge, had a huge problem with defender's advantage. With photon overcharge, I would say that defender's advantage is both slightly too strong, being that plus 90 damage instantly is pretty strong, and far too centralized, only being available on the mothership core. This leads to extreme strength in the early game and extreme weakness in the late game, rather than just being a nice medium throughout the whole game. I would say part of this is due to cannons having what I like to call Stalker Syndrome, where they're so all around that they excel at nothing and end up being worse than all other more specialized static defensive structures in most scenarios. In addition, I think it would bring all races to equal footing with static defense. Both other races have at least 2 forms of static defense, and they have the capability to heal their static defense during the battle. Protoss cannot heal their structures during combat. Photon Overcharge is also only 2 forms of static defense at one base at a time. I have 2 different scenarios which I would like to see implemented, both of which have different pros and cons. Under both scenarios, Photon Overcharge is completely removed. Number 1. Shield Battery is added with numbers changed for balance on Cyber Core Tech. Cannons remain on Forge Tech. Situation 2. Shield Battery is added to the game. Both Shield Battery and Cannon appear on Cyber Core Tech. In Situation 1, defensive capabilities of the Shield Batteries synergize with the low count of gateway units in the early game, allowing each unit to go farther, similar to the bunker. In the late game, it makes cannons a bit more survivable against drops, while making outward bases more defensible, since you're not having to rely on a single unit with slow move speed. Situation 2 is my favorite because it has all of the benefits of Situation 1 while also ending the pigeonholing of Protoss tech that necessitates a Robo or an Oracle very early into the game to counter Widowmine drops. Because of the extra shield damage, Widowmines are already very strong against Protoss, stronger than they are against the other 2 races. Forcing Protoss to go a certain tech route to counter it makes Terran's next few steps in the game much easier. Imagine if you couldn't get any detectors like Overseers or Scans out at all until you had built like a factory or a Hydra den. As an aside, I just thought of this as I was typing the script. What if the Mothership core has the Oracle's Revelation ability instead of Photon Overcharge? Both other races have early access to detection that isn't static defense and doesn't force them down a tech path. Keep in mind that a player opening Twilight Council has 0 access to mobile detection until they go down a different tech tree. But what about cannon rushes, you say? Ask yourself this. How would cannon rushes with cannons on Cybercore tech be any different than pylon rushes are right now? Pylon rushes and forge cannon rushes come out sooner, require less build time, and thus would hit drastically earlier than what we would have if cannons were on Cybercore tech. Cannon rushes against hatch firsts are already pretty dead because of how fast spawning pool can be purchased after the hatchery. If you have any questions or concerns, put them in the comment section below or the Reddit thread. I will get to as many as I possibly can. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys next time.